like an amputee. She knew then her luck had changed. She focused twice, to be sure. She watched the nose wheel crumple as it landed. Her stomach lurched when an arc of luminous sparks skittered from the rending metal. Then the blunt nose section dipped down gently to kiss the tarmac. In her viewfinder, it was an awesome, beautiful ballet unfolding in slow motion. The Leviathan was only seconds away from being 8 million yuan of Chinese scrap metal. Through her 500mm lens, she saw the ghost-grey face of the pilot as he sat upright in his seat. He stared down the runway, consumed by his own accident. She fired her big Nikon again and listened to its motor clatter, then waited, calculating a take. This was a 20 grand crash. The mail would pay, and the mirror. The sun might pay more. She felt her pulse pound at her temple, and she flinched when the giant's wingtips slewed and touched the ground, sliding, buckling. The jet's engines bellowed like 4 wounded animals. On the press stand beside the runway, she was overwhelmed by the noise. She wanted to clap her palms over her ears. She could feel the burnt fuel searing her nostrils. Now was her moment, her coup de grace. She leaned across the steel press barrier to brace herself and balance the weight of the long lens on her monopod, holding it as still as she could, then focused again. Henrietta cried out in orgasmic exultation and fired the motor drive on maximum. Yes! Yes! The fuselage groaned. Its camouflaged casing cracked open like an egg, twisting and tearing itself apart. She could see inside it. Empty seats scattered out like seeds, bouncing down the runway. The dismembered wreck skated elegantly, scraping the concrete and filling her viewfinder. With every shot, she felt the matte black camera shudder in her hands. To her, the clatter of its motor drive sounded like gold coins being stacked in a vault. This was cash in the bank. Her fingers and toes tingled like a good night out on the vodka. Henrietta took a breath. Then the kerosene blew. The scalding flash of white lightning turned angry red, and a bouquet of black swirling fumes became smoke. It wreathed the wreckage and filled her senses with an acrid, pungent nausea. When a hatch opened in the cabin roof, she reset her motor drive to single shot without thinking, focusing through the flames. The captain and co-pilot wriggled out, sliding down the windscreen like children in a playground. They sat together on the jet's broad nose until a burst of flame licked around them and forced them to jump. She cried out when they thudded into the runway and sprawled to disappear under the careering jet. She thanked God they were out of the fire. She never heard the wail of the fire trucks or the screams from the public gallery. Her ground glass viewfinder contained her world. She worked with cold fervor. Wait, fire, wait again. Mistakes cost cash. She never felt the heat, either, through the skin-tight biker's leathers. The inferno filled her last frame. Then unseen hands jerked her violently off her feet, dragging her backwards. Henrietta tumbled down the press stand to land in the soft grass that edged the runway. She felt more hands grab her roughly, pulling at her. She heard the heavy, wheezing breath of the 2 firemen who held her, one under each armpit, running her across the grass like a puppet. She felt the pain of the blows when her cameras, swinging by their straps, slammed into her knees as she was forced to run. The flaming torso of the jet now reached the empty press.